you're a couple, and you think that you and your spouse have the whole couple thing down pat. But there are a lot of new parents who find that 3 is a crowd after adding a baby into the mix. This month's issue of American Baby has some tips that will help you baby-proof your marriage. And for more on that, we're joined this morning by American Baby's features editor, Tricia O'Brien. Good morning, Tricia.
Good morning.
Well, let's talk about the time period where things are at greatest flux and risk.
It's those initial few months. You know, you bring your baby home, you're really excited, you think it's going to be wonderful. And it is, but it's also exhausting. You have around-the-clock feedings, you're changing diapers. It's just not exactly what you expected.
So, challenges, chores, how do you handle that?
Yeah, you know, it's common that each person seems to think they're doing more than the other person. So really just drop an exhaustive collective to-do list that shows all the invisible responsibilities that you each carry.
So the new parent, the mom, generally has more responsibility than the dad. It just works out like that. But how do you adjust to the new role with the baby?
Well, you know, you have to think about if say mom is staying home or working at home, she's not going to work anymore, her whole life, her identity has changed. You need to sit down with your husband and talk about what that means and figure out how you two can work through that. Often, if you're also not earning a paycheck anymore and you're dependent on your husband, you know, you might feel a little funny when you want to go run out to Starbucks and get a coffee.
So here's a hypothetical. The man, prior to the birth of the baby, had this basketball routine on weekends where he would hang out with his buddies,
Right.
you know, Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
What would you advise this new dad to do when baby comes home about his recreation?
Well, you know, I think he still needs to do those things, but you need to work it out and figure out, okay, if I'm going to play basketball, maybe it's not every Saturday. And also, when can, you know, your wife go do her book club?
Let's talk about the big one,
Okay.
the big R word, romance and the baby.
Absolutely. This is a really tough one. New parents are exhausted. So you really need to figure out a way to work it into the relationship. You just have to do it. And you know, for a lot of new parents, it's not the most romantic thing, but some couples find that they have to actually schedule it in there to make time for it.
Is there physiological, psychological element that men should be aware of just because of the hormonal shifts when a woman...
Well, you know, they need to remember that a woman maybe doesn't feel so great about her body anymore. She, you know, it's not what it was before the baby. She's still maybe trying to lose the baby weight. She feels a little self-conscious. So tell her she's beautiful. She's breastfeeding, all of those things. And women need to realize that men really connect to their wives through sex. So it's really, really important.
No.
Absolutely it is.
Communication, heart, no.
That's important too, but the sex part is really important for the men.
Well, I don't think a lot of my male brothers out there would disagree with that. Thank you very much, Tricia O'Brien, for all the
Thank you,
tips.
Randall.